Hello, CFL fans. Please forgive the lateness of this video. But I've been I've been getting caught up with the baseball's postseason, as you see, I'm wearing the Yankee stuff, and and the NFL, and of course the return of hockey. So that's why I'm a little bit late with this. But we're now down to the final 5 weeks of the CFL season, and it's getting interesting. Entering the final quarter, Calgary has clinched a spot in the CFL playoffs, and they're the only team officially in. And then they are dominating. They are dominating again. They stand at 12-1-1. They stand at 12-1-1, and of course they had the best record last year, but that didn't lead them to the Grey Cup. They fell to the Red Blacks last year in that classic overtime game. But they're definitely going to be playing football in November. They've got a spot, but they don't have a home. Actually, they do have a home playoff game set because it's assured that they can finish no lower than second. Because second place is the spot for having a playoff game at home. Winnipeg is Winnipeg is kicking ass. They really are. The Blue Bombers are 10-3, and they can get in the playoffs. They end the playoffs this week. They need a win and some help. A win and some help will do it. A win and losses from Edmonton and Saskatchewan will get Winnipeg in the playoffs. If BC loses after all of that, then Winnipeg will clinch at least second, so they'll be at home for a playoff game. They still have a shot at the West, and their shot at the West remains because Calgary is off this week. Yeah, the Calgary has taken a siesta this week after blowing out the Alouettes 59-11. That's two blowout wins for them. They had the blowout win against Hamilton 60-1. Oh my goodness. Um, Edmonton, Edmonton, as the recently late but always great Tom Petty, God rest his soul, would say they are free falling. 6 losses in a row, and they were 7-0. They were the beasts. They were the best in the West. They were the best in the league. Now they may not make the playoffs. I mean, that is a real possibility. The Edmonton Eskimos may just free fall themselves out of the playoffs. At the moment, here's how bad it is. They started 7-0. At the moment, they hold the crossover position, which means if the season ends, they will cross over to the East and go on the road as the East's third place team. And that's in danger because the Lions, BC Lions, though they're the bottom of the West, they're right on the cusp, possibly past them. But who knows what the next 5 weeks will give us? And speaking of the East Division, how about those Argos? The Argos are on a roll. We've won 3 straight. We had a great overtime win in Hamilton on this past Saturday, and that with Ottawa's latest loss gives us an actual stranglehold on a now average East Division. It is now average because the 3 game winning streak put the Argos at 500. We're 7-7. Um, the Argos can get in the playoffs as early as today. If Winnipeg beats Hamilton, we're in the postseason. But even if that doesn't happen, if we win, we're in. If we win and Ottawa doesn't win, even if they so much as tie, we get the East. And getting the division is important because like in the NFL, there are first round buys in CFL. Of course, there's only 3 rounds, but it makes the road to the Grey Cup easier because finishing in first place means a bye straight to the East final, which would be at home, and and we need that. We really need that. As bad as the East is this season, we need to finish second. But it looks like we're gonna get first place in the division. The Argos are at home against the Saskatchewan Roughriders. We have no divisional games left. The win against Hamilton was our last this season. We finished 6-2 against Eastern opponents, winning all 3 season series, going 2-1 against Hamilton, 2-1 against Montreal and winning both games against Ottawa. So again, a stranglehold over this East Division. But we've only beaten a West opponent once, and that one win was against an Edmonton team that is going down the drain. At least it seems like it. But thankfully we're done with Calgary. So we have to play the rest of the West Division. It starts at home with the Rough Riders, and we'll see how it goes from there. So we can at least get in the playoffs, and we can win the division. We have to win. We have to win, and Ottawa can't win. Um, Ottawa's on the road against the Lions this week, and there's elimination stage. Of course, there's 9 teams in CFL, which means there's 9 teams in the CFL. 6 teams get in, which means 3 teams will go fishing, and Montreal could end up being the first of those 3. If Ottawa wins and they lose, they'll be out. And at the moment, Hamilton and BC are in are on the bubble in elimination spots. Though BC has a good chance of getting in. Hamilton, not so much. But yeah, it's going to be a crazy final 5 weeks. I look ahead to these schedules, and of course, I looked ahead to week 20. Toronto ends the season in Vancouver, and as close as the East was, I actually thought this game may depend on where we go in the playoffs. But it looks like everything's going to be fine. We're winning at the right time, and the rest of the division's falling off. So we could have it all sewn up. We can have it all sewn up by Saturday. We can get into playoffs, get the East, and just keep winning. Just keep winning and get some momentum heading into the playoffs. But that's the story. That's the story after 3 quarters. After 3 quarters of the CFL season, it all comes down to the final 5 weeks. Toronto's the beast in the East. Calgary's the best in the West. Winnipeg's playoff bound. Will the Eskimos completely fall and miss the playoffs? Will BC climb up and get a playoff spot? The final 5 weeks will tell us, and it all starts later today. So that's my review of the third quarter. Enjoy this fourth and final quarter, the next 5 weeks, and I'll review that after the final game ends. So and of course, my next YouTube video will be my next YouTube video will either be a review of the Division Series or a review of Week 5 of the NFL season, whichever ends first. So with that I say, enjoy everything that's going on in sports, and good day.